Are you a solar EPC struggling to grow your business in the competitive solar industry? You're not alone. Most EPCs face common challenger status updates, apply for business loans for timely project execution, and ensure customer satisfaction. Get expert solar design support with accurate layouts, PV assist reports, and more, tailored for your projects. Monitor all your solar plants at one platform. Are you a solar EPC struggling to grow your business in the competitive solar industry? You're not alone. Most EPCs face common challenges like lack of solar loans and supply chain finance, complex solar designs, multiple solar monitoring platforms, and difficulty in procurement and delivery of quality solar equipments. Does this sound familiar? Handling these challenges on your own can be overwhelming. But what if we told you there's an all-in-one solution designed to help you overcome these hurdles? Introducing the Aerem Partner app, the ultimate tool for EPCs to grow their solar business seamlessly. Need loans for your customers? Apply for solar loans easily through the app and get regular status updates. Apply for business loans for timely project execution and ensure customer satisfaction. Get expert solar design support with accurate layouts, PV assist reports, and more, tailored for your projects. Monitor all your solar plants at one platform with our hardware-independent plant monitoring system. Aerox, simplify your procurement process with Sunstore, your one-stop shop for solar hardware procurement. With the Aerem Partner app, growing your solar business has never been easier. Say goodbye to challenges and hello to opportunities. Download the Aerem Partner app today. It's absolutely free.
We made a promise to our client first and then moved to Aerem on finding a solution to it. So, which means that for every single, I would say, decision making, Aerem has been a very crucial part to a level where I would say last year's entire, I would say, quantum of our turnover to our profitability to our operations efficiency improvement and strategizing everything, Aerem has been a very key position maker for us. Been working very closely, started with finance, but then from there to technical solution package to their inventory and their procurement side of streamlining our operations. So every aspect of our EPC end to end, we've been the benefactor of Aerem. So I would say we give our entire last year's, from turnover to our project efficiency, everything, Aerem played a very big role in that entire spectrum of things. So yeah, I mean, there have been a lot of instances, but if I have to pick one, right, like which led us to kind of get the entire project up and running for our client, is that so from December to Feb and March, the client requested us to kind of close almost 10 sites in 3 months, which means that I'll have to finish off 3 sites every month. So we requested Aerem if they could kind of increase the credit limit, even if it's temporary, and reducing the interest rates quite to some extent, so that will improve our profitability. So these are like minor modifications which they had to essentially kind of just go beyond their comfort level just to support us to kind of grow our businesses over the last 1 year. So this is something which I would say their support, their expertise into negotiating a better terms with us. So that is something which really helped us in improving profitability of those products. Yes, there were. I mean, so for example, finance. So they have a separate team which takes care of the finance, and now they have a technical team, and then they have a procurement team as well. So whenever we want to negotiate the price of the procurement channel, so we never essentially deal with the point of contact who is from the finance department. So we would be requested to essentially look at the procurement team and then directly negotiate, on a face-to-face basis on what is the expectations and what is it that they could give the best price. And same thing goes with the interest rates and everything, which will be dealt with the finance team. We started off with, like I said, supply chain financing. We didn't get an opportunity yet to avail their loan benefits, but we have few projects in pipeline where we would start kind of availing those benefits as well. But supply chain financing and then technical and the procurement side of things. So right now we have just blocked a very big quantum of solar panels through Aerem for this financial year, and supply chain financing has been something which has been, I would say, what led to a small scale startup to kind of for us to be a growth stage startup and kind of calling ourselves as comparable to the big league ones and trying to at least be a vision to compete with the big ones. So supply chain financing has been, I would say, the biggest services that we were able to avail to the biggest. The biggest client that we were able to bag last financial year is only by negotiating on one key decision of saying that you don't have to pay a single rupee upfront, you pay it after and do the installation. So 100% risk is on us. And once the project is executed is when you'll have to essentially pay us 100%. So for that, I would need someone to essentially procure the panels, inverters, cables, and all the raw materials that goes with it. So Aerem has been someone who's helped us throughout for that.
તો પછી ડાયરેક્ટ મારામાં જ નખાઈ દેવું હોય તો પછી
So Aerem, the biggest vacuum of things that's there in the energy market or in the clean energy market is access to capital, right? Like either on the client side or on the installer side, right? Like, so that is something which is the biggest vacuum, and there is going to be an everlasting demand, at least what we foresee for the next 30-40 years. And Aerem hits the entire market with the right solution that the market really needs, which is if the client wants capital to install solar, they give. If the one who is installing it, if he needs capital, Aerem has the solution, right? And now through Aerem solution of having a one-stop shop, right? Access to capital, doing entire technical aspect of it, and also kind of like letting the procurement. What we foresee is this is going to democratize the entire industry, wherein anyone who is essentially passionate about entering into an industry, it doesn't need to have a big workforce, right? This is something where it can just offload that this is the clientele that we are trying to solarize, and let Aerem do majority of their aspect of it, right from designing to procurement to financing this end client. We actually see them grow at the same rate as we as a company are growing. Let's just say we are growing 3x, so we see the partnership also grow 3x, this financial year. So this is something which has opened up for much bigger opportunities which we could now explore. Just having the trust and the confidence that Aerem has our back. So of course, and we already have introduced Aerem to few companies. So one of the key differentiators which Aerem has over the competitors is predominantly the transparency that they have with the client. So they don't really kind of put hidden charges which the client recognizes it or sees it later, but they are very open and transparent and try to understand what the client really needs, and try to understand, okay, so how do we now kind of model the financing in a way that both the party wins here, rather than heads I win, tails you lose model which majority of the financing companies have in the industry. So this kind of helps them to be more of a customer friendly and a win-win proposition, which I feel that is something which is lacking in the solar financing industry, and Aerem fits right there to find having the right solution in the market.
A new energy era is already underway. Cleaner, smarter, more connected than ever before. As solar adoption accelerates, businesses need more than panels. They need financing, reliability, and systems designed to perform over time. Because solar is becoming the foundation of modern business infrastructure. And great infrastructure needs long-term care, intelligence, and accountability. We help businesses move toward a smarter energy future. A new energy era is already here. Our sun, our energy.
Are you a solar EPC struggling to grow your
Hello everyone. Hi. Yes, so my name is Vivek and I'm from Aerem Solutions. I look after the marketing part at Aerem Solutions. So we are conducting this session for every one of you who are interested in BESS. So just wanted to understand who all know about Aerem. This is the first session that they are attending? if I can ask anyone, it will be more good if we can have an interaction. So if you can just switch on your camera and have an initial discussion and set the tone of the webinar, and after that we can start. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for switching on your camera. I request everyone, if everyone can switch on their camera if they are comfortable, and after that we can have the session as well.
Am I visible, sir? Vivek, sir?
Yes, you are.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So since Prathamesh is online and I can see him, so Prathamesh, just wanted to know, have you heard about Aerem before, or how do you are attending this session?
सर समझा नहीं, जरा धीरे
प्रथमेश,
बोल सकते हैं?
आप पहली बार एरम के वेबिनार में ज्वाइन
Yes,
कर रहे
yes.
हैं या
Yes,
आपने
yes, first
पहले
time.
एरम के बारे में सुना है?
फर्स्ट
ओके
टाइम।
ओके, आपको पता है एरम क्या करता है?
नहीं, मुझे मेरा एक कलीग है,
ओके
बिजनेस कलीग, उसने मुझे बोला बेस का जो अपना सिस्टम है, बैटरी
Okay.
स्टोरेज सिस्टम, उसके लिए जानकारी तेरे को बिजनेस ग्रोथ के लिए चाहिए तो ये ज्वाइन कर सकता है, तो वही मुझे पूरा अंडरस्टैंडिंग चाहिए।
परफेक्ट सर, आप ईपीसी है, इंस्टॉलर है आप?
मैं
आप
लाइसेंसिंग
solar
में हूँ अभी और ईपीसी।
अच्छा, कहाँ से है सर आप?
आना महाराष्ट्र।
महाराष्ट्र से। ओके अंडरस्टूड। किरण सर, आप बता सकते हैं आपके बारे में, आप कहाँ से हैं, आपने एरम के बारे में सुना है पहले?
Yes, good afternoon to everybody. My name is Kiran. I am from Bangalore actually.
ओके
My company name is Sunnap Solar. We are actually EPC vendor, both ground-mounted solar and rooftop solar.
ओके
So, applied almost 2-3 loans and finally I got one sanction and that I completed actually the project. And this is
Okay.
my first session to joining actually.
ओके So have you heard of Aerem before?
No, this is the first session actually. First.
Okay. Okay, understood. So I feel there's a quite good new audience that we have. So first of all, I'll like to introduce what Aerem does and what Aerem target audience and the customer base that we service. So Aerem as a brand are into three undercover. So we do procurement, which is Aerem store. So अगर कहाँ से भी अगर आपको वारी, विक्रम, रिन्यू सोलर पैनल लेने रहते हैं या इन्वर्टर्स, बैटरी, केबल्स अगर आपको सप्लाई करने रहते हैं, तो वी हैव एन एरम स्टोर। सॉरी, सो वी हैव एन एरम स्टोर जहाँ पे यू कैन प्रोक्योर ऑल योर मटेरियल्स फॉर योर सोलर प्लांट. Along with that, we also have our NBFC, so which is an RBI regulated NBFC, which is under net zero finance. So this has been regulated by RBI, and we finance up to 90% of your solar project cost. So this also includes supply chain finance and other financing loan specifically to solar. And the third part of Aerem is Aerem monitoring. So Aerem monitoring is a dashboard where all your solar plants, whichever solar plants that you have installed, if it's your personal or from the EPC perspective, if you have multiple solar plants, अगर आप लोग ने लगाए हैं तो वो सोलर प्लांट्स आप एक मॉनिटर डैशबोर्ड में देख सकते हैं. क्या होता है, अगर आप सोलिस का अगर आप एक इन्वर्टर लगाते हैं तो आपको सोलिस में जाना पड़ता है, उसके ऐप के अंदर इंस्टॉल करके आपको उसका मॉनिटर पर्टिकुलर प्लांट देखना पड़ता है. बट एरम मॉनिटरिंग में ऐसा है कि आपको एक सिंगल डैशबोर्ड पे आप अपने जितने भी समझ लो आप 15-20 सोलर प्लांट्स लगाए हैं तो इंडिविजुअल आप उसकी हर एक की इंडिविजुअल हेल्थ और कोई भी अलर्ट्स और ये सब आप वो डैशबोर्ड पे देख सकते हैं. सो दिस इज an overall overview of the Aerem solutions, what Aerem as a service provider is for the EPC as well as for the direct lines. Now we have also come into BESS, and this session is specifically for all the people who are into solar and want to understand BESS more. So ये session हम लोग ने specially आप लोग के लिए ही conduct करा है. So we have Mr. Amer, who's from Aerem, as well as we have an expert advisor for Aerem solutions, which is Mr. Santosh, who is our guest speaker. So what we'll do is we'll run through the entire presentation of what is BESS, how it works, and everything around BESS. And उसके बाद आपकी जो भी queries रहते हैं, questions रहते हैं, we can take it after the presentation has been completed. So that's the agenda of this particular webinar is. And now over to Amey. Amey, you can start the presentation. And उसके बाद आप लोग के कोई भी डाउट रहते हैं, we are more than welcome, happy to answer all the questions.
Hello everyone. Is my screen
Hello.
visible?
Yes, Amey, it's visible.
Yes. So
Yes, sir.
I would like to ask Santosh sir, who has worked closely around 25 year plus in energy sector, to please begin with the session, and eventually I'll take on. Please, Santosh sir, please.
Yeah, thank you, Ameya. Thank you, Vivek, for introducing this session, and very warm welcome to everybody. आप लोग from different parts of India, you all have joined. Thank you for your time, and hopefully we will be able to give you some good knowledge about BESS. Okay. Um, BESS. Okay, May, if you can just move on to the next slide. Yeah. So BESS, as many of you will know, is, I would say, is one of the major breakthroughs in the clean energy space, okay, which has come in the last 4 or 5 years. Why do I call it a breakthrough? It's a breakthrough because it's the first time in over 100 years of electricity that we have invented or discovered a way to store electricity at a very economical cost. Okay. So electricity, if you know, whenever we produce it, we have to consume it at the same time. So if there's a large coal plant or if there is a large solar plant, we have to generate and consume at the same time because we could not store it at scale. Okay. But now, because of advancements, technical advancements, it has become economical to store vast quantities of electricity at a very reasonable cost. Okay, so that is the breakthrough which has come in the recent last 5-7 years. Now, what has driven this breakthrough? There are a number of things which have led to this. First and foremost, it is the technology. Okay, so as you can see in the leftmost side, it's a technology which is called as LFP. Okay, LFP is lithium iron phosphate. Okay, that is the full chemistry of the battery technology. This technology is relatively recent. I would say about 3 years. 3 years. Before that, also there were other technologies which we have heard of. Popular was NMC, that is nickel, manganese, cobalt. NMC. That was the NMC technology. Now it is LFP. Okay. All these are based on lithium. Lithium is the core chemistry. Okay. So based on this chemistry, the LFP technology, the advantage LFP technology has brought is that A, it is cost economical. Okay. B, it is thermally stable. Okay. Because what happens in the batteries is that when you charge the battery, okay, it heats up. Okay, so when you charge, it heats up. Just like on your mobile phone, when you keep it for charging, you find that the mobile phone becomes a little hot. Okay, so batteries heat up. And in the NMC technology, what was happening was it's thermally little less stable than LFP. Okay, it's also proven technology, but it is more expensive and it is a little less thermally stable. So LFP, which is the latest generation, that is thermally stable and it is cost economical. Okay, thermal stability is important from a safety standpoint, whether it is your stationary storage or whether it's electric vehicles, right, which are used in electric cars and so on. So that is a dominant technology. Okay. Now this technology also is evolving. So right now, if you see the building block is what we call as the cell. Okay, the cells are about 314 ampere hour, which you can see there in the first bullet point. So that is the current standard format. Okay, 314 ampere hour. Now that's also evolving. The more recent one is 580 ampere hour. That's coming, and that's so cells are getting more and more dense and more efficient. Okay, so that is the LFP technology. Okay, now the other important thing about this technology is the cycle life. Okay, now this is again very important. If you see the traditional lead acid batteries, they had a cycle life only of about 2000 cycles. Okay, these modern lithium ion batteries have 6000 to 8000 cycles. So 6000 to 8000 cycles means that even if you run the battery for 2 cycles a day, okay, it can run for almost 10 years. Okay. If you run it for 1 cycle a day, it can run for 12 to 15 years. Okay. So that is the life of the battery. Okay, because of the improved cycle life. The third is the cost curve, which I mentioned to you, that the cost curve is already come down. So today we are looking at between 16,000 and 20,000 rupees per kilowatt hour as the solution for CNI customers, right? So the customers that you go to, if he wants to set up a 100 kilowatt hour battery, then that would cost about between 16 and 20 lakhs, okay, for a 100 kilowatt hour system. Okay. So that's the price point that it has come to. Later on, we will talk about the payback, and later on, Amaya will talk about it. Globally, there is more than 300 gigawatt hour of installation, okay, which is very large. So that's significant. I mean, India today, we have got about 6 gigawatt hour total installed. Okay. Globally, it's about 300, mostly in China. About 2/3 of this is in China. Okay. India, we have a pipeline of about 236 gigawatt hour. This is the government's target. Okay, by 2032 to have 236 gigawatt hour. As I mentioned, about 6 gigawatt hour is already installed, and there is a significant amount in the pipeline. A lot of it is under tendering and so on. Okay. Yeah. Go next, please. Yeah. This is very quickly as to why BESS is required for the country. Okay. So this curve or this graph, it shows you the power exchange prices. Okay. So India has a power exchange, much like we have a stock exchange. Likewise, we have a power exchange. In the power exchange, power is bought and sold every day. And this power price changes every 15 minutes. Okay. So you can see on the x-axis, that's 24 hours of the day. Every 15 minutes, the price of the power changes. Okay. Now, if you look at the price curve, you see that there is a dip in the afternoon, right? Around 12 noon, there is a dip in the price. It's around 2 rupees. Okay. Whereas in the evening, after sunset, okay, it hits about 10 rupees. Okay. So this behavior of a dip in the afternoon and hitting the upper ceiling in the evening happens almost every day. Okay. And why does it happen? It happens because in the daytime, there is a lot of solar in the system. Okay. So India right now has got about 160 gigawatt of solar. Okay. And our peak demand in the month of April and May, we reached about 270 gigawatt in the country. Okay. Solar itself in that afternoon time, it's more than 150 gigawatt. Okay. So what is happening is there is excess solar coming, and there are other sources of generation, as you know, right? Coal power, and India has got 200 plus gigawatt of coal power. Okay. And then we have other sources like hydro, wind, etc. Right. So what is happening in the daytime? There is a lot of excess.
Sir, if possible, can you describe in Hindi, sir? So we can understand better way, if possible.
ओके ओके ठीक है, मैं कोशिश करूंगा हिंदी में भी श्योरली। तो ये जो आपके सामने ये जो कर्व दिख रहा है,
Hello, sorry. सॉरी टू इंटरप्ट सर, ये आपका जो ग्राफ है ना, वो विजिबल, जो ग्राफ के टॉप पॉइंट्स है ना, वो नहीं विजिबल नहीं है सर।
अच्छा,
ये
नहीं
ग्रीन और रेड
आपको
ग्राफ पूरा क्लियर नहीं दिख रहा।
अच्छा अच्छा, बाकी लोगों को भी ऐसा ही है क्या? एवरीबडी?
नहीं,
विजिबल
सर,
विजिबल
it's visible, sir, both
नहीं
side.
सर, जूम करने के बाद विजिबल हो रहा है।
Visible, it is perfectly visible.
जूम करने के बाद है क्लियर।
हाँ,
एक 2 to 3 kilowatt है ना, 2 to 3 kilowatt.
Yes, 2 to 3, and this is the discharge band is about 8 to 11.
Yes, it's visible, sir.
सिंपल ना, ओके। तो आप प्लीज आपका चेक कर लीजिए, जिनको बराबर क्लियर नहीं दिख रहा है, आपका सेटिंग आप थोड़ा चेक कर लीजिए टीम्स पे। हाँ, तो इसमें ये ग्राफ में इसलिए दिखाना चाहता था कि इंडिया में ये जो पावर एक्सचेंज है, जैसे स्टॉक एक्सचेंज है वैसा एक पावर एक्सचेंज है, जहाँ पे रोज पावर का ट्रेडिंग होता है, बाइंग और सेलिंग, और हर 15 मिनट इसका प्राइस जो है वो चेंज होता है। ओके, आई थिंक सम पीपल कांट सी। निखिल जी, आपको बराबर क्लियरली नहीं दिख रहा है।
I think Santosh, that might be due to the connectivity issue.
only
But you can definitely continue. It
only
might be
only
his network
graph
issue.
only graph is just
अच्छा, आपका कनेक्टिविटी, आप वाईफाई आपका थोड़ा चेक कर लीजिए, अगर स्ट्रॉन्ग आपका वाईफाई थोड़ा देख लीजिए प्लीज, क्योंकि बाकी लोगों को दिख रहा है।
Yeah, the presentation is clear and it is much better if you're attending on the laptop. Please continue, sir. I don't want more discussions.
श्योर श्योर। सो ये प्राइस कर्व ऐसा है कि रोज इंडिया, अगर आप पावर एक्सचेंज वेबसाइट पे जाके देखें, IEX करके, इंडिया एनर्जी एक्सचेंज, तो वहां पे आपको दिखेगा कि रोज कर्व इस तरह का कर्व दिखता है, जो दोपहर के टाइम, क्योंकि ग्रिड में एक्सेसिव सोलर पावर है, इसलिए प्राइस एकदम डिप्रेस्ड है, क्योंकि सप्लाई ज्यादा है, डिमांड थोड़ा कम है, और ₹2 के अराउंड चल रहा है प्राइसेस। And in the evening, okay, I'll do a mix of English and Hindi. And in the evening, price goes up to 10 rupees. 10 rupees तक जा रहा है प्राइस, because there is a bit of a shortage. Okay, अभी इसको solve करने के लिए the battery comes into play. Okay, because ये बैटरी के जरिए हम डे टाइम में we can charge the battery and store the power, we can soak the power, and evening time में we can discharge the battery, right? So this is very valuable for the country, for the power grid, and yes, ये एकदम फायदेमंद है बैटरी इस वजह से। ये कॉन्टेक्स्ट देना था आपको, भी आगे चलते हैं थोड़ा। हाँ, अभी इंडिया में गवर्नमेंट का जो टारगेट है, द गवर्नमेंट्स टारगेट इज 500 गीगावाट of renewables by 2030. Okay, we are already crossed 260 or so, and बाकी in the next 4 years we have to add another 240. तो उसमें ये जो पीक डिमांड है, इट्स ग्रोइंग एट अ वेरी हाई रेट ऑफ अराउंड 8%। सोलर पोटेंशियल काफी है, मैं ये नहीं कहूंगा कि 4000 गीगावाट पूरा आएगा कंट्री में, उतना जरूरत भी नहीं है। अभी एज ऑफ नाउ वी हैव 160 गीगावाट। ओके, सोलर विल रीच अबाउट 280 to 300 गीगावाट बाय 2030, दैट इज द प्लान। ओके, और जो बेस है, जो एनर्जी स्टोरेज है, वो अराउंड 236 गीगावाट का पाइपलाइन है, जो मैंने पहले बताया। Now, why do we need this BESS? As I said, for managing the variability, grid का जो renewables जो up down चला है ना, unfirm, infirm power जिसे हम कहते हैं, तो उसको firm करने के लिए बैटरी की जरूरत है। Peak demand, to meet the peak demand, frequency regulation, rural electrification because microgrids वगैरह rural areas में, कॉस्ट रिडक्शन, ओके, डीजल का भी इससे हम ऑफसेट कर सकते हैं, जहाँ पे बैकअप पावर लोग यूज कर रहे हैं डीजल का, एंड फाइनली डीकार्बनाइजेशन, हम कार्बन फुटप्रिंट कम कर सकते हैं। तो दिस इज द बैकग्राउंड। ओके, अभी आगे चलिए। मैं ओके, मैं आई हैंड ओवर टू यू, आप यहाँ से आप कैरी ऑन कीजिए प्लीज।
Yes, thank you so much, Santosh sir. And Santosh sir will be available with us throughout the session. कुछ भी डाउट रहता है, so at the end of the session you can ask. Okay. तो अभी क्यों इंडिया में चाहिए बैटरी बैकअप, व्हाई इट इज नीडेड, वो तो समझ गया है, पर एक्चुअल में बैटरी एनर्जी स्टोरेज सिस्टम क्या होता है और क्यों लगाना चाहिए, दैट आई टेल यू अबाउट। सो बैटरी बैकअप स्टोरेज सिस्टम का एक ही मतलब एक और अनेक बोल सकते हैं कि यूजेस है. मेनली इट इज यूज्ड टू स्टोर इलेक्ट्रिकल एनर्जी when the tariff rates are lower and discharge the battery when the tariff rates are higher. ठीक है. और भी इसमें बेनिफिट्स होता है जब सोलार से भी चार्ज. सो चार्जिंग एंड डिस्चार्जिंग होता है बैटरी का बेसिक कॉन्सेप्ट. और जो कॉन्फ़िगरेशंस रहते हैं that are AC coupled and DC coupled. AC coupled में the battery is connected to AC distribution network. Yes, and operates on separate inverter rather than solar. मतलब solar का एक अलग inverter रहता है and AC के लिए where the AC system is there, we connect the PCS, then the BESS is connected. And second is DC coupled. So that here the batteries are directly connected to the DC sides and can be directly charged via solar or any other renewable energy. So if we talk about the components of battery BESS, so battery is the majority of the component. But to make that BESS system work, we require multiple components like PCS, BMS, EMS, thermal management, and enclosures, of course. So power conversion system is to charge the battery charges and discharges using DC. So when we take the energy from solar, it is directly charged in DC, but the output that we give to the load or the grid is AC. So it converts power from AC to DC and back again, vice versa. Then there is battery management system. The battery management system ensures the health of the battery on a particular cell level. So it manages the discharge and charge of a particular cell to ensure that no cell is being overworked or underworked. Then comes the brain of the BESS system, that is EMS, Energy Management System. It makes sure that the charging happens when the rates are lower or excess solar is there, and discharging happens when the peak demand is more or the tariff rates are more. Of course, these are coded on a case-to-case level. The EMS is a microcontroller that can be coded on a site level basis. When the peak demand is achieved, when the tariff rates are lower or higher, are to be coded in the EMS. And then comes the one of the major important parts to take care of the battery, that is thermal management system. It is said that 25 degrees Celsius is the optimum temperature to maintain a battery or a cell health. Anything above or lower will hamper the battery life. So a thermal management system is very important. In India, mostly air-cooled system is provided, but people are moving towards liquid-cooled as well. Both the solutions are provided in India. Then, of course, the enclosures. These also depend on the site conditions and the size of the battery that you want. Enclosures come in cabinet types, 20 feet container or 40 feet container, based on your requirement. So a typical BESS configuration would look like this. The BESS can be charged from the grid, from your local solar that you have on your factory or your residence, and also the utility. These all are managed by EMS. The when to charge, when to discharge, to get the maximum benefit of your BESS system. So on a cell level basis, currently the LFP uses prismatic cells, which are rectangular cells, to achieve a better ratio of what we call better compactness, to avoid any loose spaces between them. So battery cells are connected, multiple cells are connected together to form a module. Modules have fuse and a microcontroller in them, to which is connected then to a BMS. And these battery modules are then kept in a rack where, according to a requirement, the rack size is made. The rack is then connected to the EMS, and if you have multiple racks, then a BESS container is provided where you have the HVAC system, the cooling system, and all the other protection devices, where it is mainly the BESS containers are mainly used for large scale projects. When you take an example of a CNI project which would require about 266 kilowatt hour of battery, it would come in a cabinet size. So now, why BESS has gained so much of momentum in India, and especially the first case where we saw government pushing for BESS is Maharashtra. So Maharashtra released an order in April which stated that capacities above 100 kilowatt would require half of the size of the capacity of solar in BESS, and the duration for that would be 2 hours. So giving an example, a 200 kilowatt peak of solar, if you divide it by 2, as per government said, 100 kilowatt hour of battery is required and for 2 hours. So multiplying it again by 2 is 200 kilowatt hours. To give a simple example, for 200 kilowatt peak of solar, you would have to give 200 kilowatt hour of battery as per the policy. To ensure these policies, they have also, Maharashtra has also done some changes in their tariff codes as well. So if we see, they have restricted solar offsets. Now you can only offset those units in the same zone that they are generated in. So if you are generating surplus solar in C zone, you can't use them in any other zone. You have to utilize them on the same zone. So what is happening currently is, previously the systems were sized for 3 zones, A, B, and C in Maharashtra. So the systems were signed accordingly. Now those units are getting wasted or getting banked, which the DISCOM buys at a very minimal rate at the end of the financial year. So to avoid this, what is happening is, we are suggesting to store those units that are being banked in BESS and then later use it during the evening peak time, where the tariff rate ranges from 12 rupees to about 20 rupees. So what are the requirements that one should look when they are planning to go for BESS? First of all, there are two scenarios. One where we have to add solar plus BESS, and the other scenario is where the solar has already been installed, but due to the policy changes, the solar units are getting not getting used or getting wasted. So to store those solar units, we are suggesting battery. So when there is a new system, we have to check for the roof space. If we can add ample of solar to offset the C zone as well as the D zone to get the maximum benefit out of solar. And also, if the solar is sized according to C zone, and also they want to take the benefit of the D zone, where the tariff rates are getting higher and higher. So if there is any additional space where they can add solar, and they can directly use to charge BESS and then to discharge it during the D zone. So these are the things that you have to keep in mind. Now, taking an example of an electricity bill. Here I am specifically stating about Maharashtra because we have seen some changes, but it is applied to all the states wherever it is possible. So first of all, you have to check the tariff category of the light bill, because every tariff category has different tariff rates. So first you have to check the tariff category. then you have to check the connected load or the contract demand, because the 70 you get charged for 75% of your contract demand, even if it doesn't reach the 75%. And if you are utilizing more than your contract demand, you are getting penalized by the discom. So these are the main parameters to check while you see a light bill. So after that, there is solar generation. If there is solar generation, you have to check if there is a surplus happening in the C zone, because C zone is the window that is from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. in Maharashtra, where the solar generates at its best. And these are some units that are getting wasted. So accordingly, you have to size the BESS. Then after you check the electricity bill and uh, if you see the electricity bill, then if there is a plan to add solar as well, then you have to check at the location if there is ample amount of space to add solar and then BESS, because adding solar plus BESS gives you a good payback. Now, taking this electricity bill example, I have derived a case for saving. So here, this was a IT enabled service which already had solar installed for 542 kilowatt peak, and their contract demand was 250 kVA. Here, because of the policy changes, the surplus solar were about 14,000 units per month. So if you decide to save these units, and also on the concept of peak shaving, their 75% of the contract demand was 188 kVA, and the recorded demand was 255. So there is a concept in BESS where we can peak shave. Uh, where we can peak shave, yes. So what the peak shaving is, we have to make a cap where where we have to decide after what demand the BESS should be acting, so that you don't get the peak demand charges. Here the demand charge is about 650 rupees per kVA. So if you are saving that 125 kVA, you are saving about 1,57,950 yearly. And again combining it with the D zone saving, it would be about 23,85,840. What, sir?
अमेय सर, सॉरी फॉर
Yes.
इंटरप्टिंग,
Yes, yes,
एक
please.
छोटा सा सवाल था। अपन
बोलो ना।
ये अभी 255 केवीए और 188 केवीए पे देख रहे हैं।
हाँ,
मिनिमम रेंज ऑफ द स्टार्टिंग क्या रह सकता है इसका? 20 किलोवाट के अबाव कैसा कर सकते हैं अपन इसको स्मॉल इंडस्ट्री स्केल्स में?
हाँ, नॉन इंडस्ट्री स्केल में आई डोंट थिंक सो पीक शेविंग का रिक्वायरमेंट है।
रहता है एमडी सैंक्शन जो रहता है ना,
हाँ,
मतलब 20 किलोवाट अबाव करेंगे ना तो डिमांड चार्ज लगता है उनको एमएससीडीसीएल में महाराष्ट्र में। अगर समझो उसका 25 केवीए का डिमांड है फिजिकली उसका इक्विपमेंट्स वगैरह, पर वो एमएससीबी से 20 केवीए सैंक्शन लेता है और 512 ही डिमांड चार्ज भरेगा। वो 20 किलोवाट के नीचे है ना सैंक्शन, और जो 5 केवीए एक्स्ट्रा जो डिमांड लग रहा है वो अपन बेस से ले सकते हैं क्या? थिंग चेंज हो जाएगा इसका और मैक्सिमम स्केल पे कर सकते हैं फिर।
आई डोंट थिंक, मतलब आई थिंक सो ले सकते हैं, बट ऑल्सो आई हैव टू सी द पॉलिसी कि कितना सोलार लग रहा है। इफ यू आर
सोलार पे भी, सोलार विदाउट सोलार पे भी रख सकते हैं क्या इसको बेस पे?
विदाउट सोलर रख सकते हैं ऑफ कोर्स, तब आपको सी जोन से चार्ज करना पड़ेगा। यहाँ पे पैरामीटर्स भी यही आएंगे कि आपका डिमांड कौन से जोन में ज्यादा है। अगर सी जोन में ही ज्यादा है एंड योर चार्जिंग
सी
फ्रॉम
जोन में ही ज्यादा रहता है ना, इंडस्ट्रीज में सी जोन और बी जोन में ही ज्यादा रहता है, सेकंड और थर्ड।
तो यस, तो और यहाँ पे टैरिफ रेट्स भी कम रहता है, ठीक है।
वही बोल रहा हूँ, 20 किलोवाट अबाव के लिए अलग टैरिफ है, 20 किलोवाट बिलो के लिए नॉर्मल जो कमर्शियल शॉप का जो रहता है वो चार्ज करता है एमएससीडीसीएल।
यस।
तो अपन 5 केवीए के लिए बेस्ट सिस्टम डालते अगर, तो वो बेटर रहेगा क्या?
संतोष हियर, हाँ,
यस।
सी वी कैन डाल सकते हैं 5 kVA, तो बैटरी, हम छोटा बैटरी लगाना पड़ेगा 5 kWh ऐसा कुछ। द ओनली थिंग, उसका हमको ना पे बैक थोड़ा देखना पड़ेगा।
ओके।
मतलब उनको कितना सेविंग हो रहा है और बैटरी का कॉस्ट के हिसाब से वो पे बैक बैठता है क्या उसमें, वो हमें थोड़ा एनालाइज करना पड़ेगा।
ओके, तो वो 1 to 1 में अपन डिस्कस कर सकते हैं आपके साथ, ये अच्छा
हाँ,
रहेगा।
अगर थोड़ा,
सर
हाँ,
हेलो
तो
सर, इसको लग के एक क्वेश्चन था सर का, जो कंसर्न है कि 20 किलोवाट का वो क्या हो रहा है अभी, जिस कस्टमर का 20 kVA सैंक्शन है, अगर वो
हाँ,
उसका एमडी 21 किलोवाट भी रिकॉर्ड हो रहा है तो वो पूरा टीओडी में जाके उसका पूरा
यस यस,
डिमांड चार्ज
20,000
दिख
का
रहा है।
लगा देते
तो
सीधा,
वो,
बीस
हाँ,
बाईस हजार
तो
रुपया लगा
उसमें
देते।
वो केस में क्या कर सकते हैं हम? उसमें एक्चुअली
हाँ,
10
यही
के वे का
मेजर है।
लगा सकते हैं या 20 का लगा सकते हैं या 25 का भी लगा सकते हैं, ऐसा उनका कंसर्न है। तो उस पर क्या
हाँ, बराबर।
आप प्योर एसी कपलिंग हम दे सकते हैं उसमें, या फिर डीसी कपलिंग भी दे सकते हैं विद सोलर हाइब्रिड इन्वर्टर, ऐसा?
विदाउट सोलर सर जी, मैं सोच रहा हूँ विदाउट सोलर के लिए, जिनके पास
तो
ऑप्शन ही नहीं है।
सर, हाँ सर, बट त्याच्यात तो
सॉरी,
काय आहे,
एक्सक्यूज
एसी
मी,
कपलिंग आहे
रुपेश सर, प्रथमेश सर, आई नो
यस।
बहुत सारी क्वेरीज रहेंगे, बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस है, वी आर जस्ट फ्यू स्लाइड्स अवे, विल रिस्पेक्ट एवरीवनस टाइम वंस वी कंप्लीट द
ओके।
प्रेजेंटेशन। आपके जो
ओके।
भी क्वेरीज है, वी आर हियर टू आंसर ऑल योर क्वेरीज, सो जस्ट लेट अस कंप्लीट द प्रेजेंटेशन एंड विल हैव अ Q&A सेशन स्पेसिफिकली फॉर ऑल योर क्वेरीज।
यस सर।
थैंक यू सो मच। यस अमय, यू कैन कंटिन्यू।
यस सर, हम आपके क्वेरीज ऑफ कोर्स हमारे ध्यान में, विल स्पेसिफिकली आपको क्वेरी का आपका रिप्लाई देंगे। सो राइट नाउ कंटिन्यूइंग, ये HT1 के लिए था, वेयर द टैरिफ रेट्स आर लोअर देन द कमर्शियल साइड। नाउ इफ वी कंसिडर फॉर कमर्शियल साइड, so commercial side का tariff rate for D zone is 18.22 and the normal are, that is the base tariff and landed they get at 15.89, which is generally higher. और ये केस में कैसा था, दिस वाज अ हॉस्पिटैलिटी इंडस्ट्री, एग्रो बेस्ड हॉस्पिटैलिटी इंडस्ट्री विच वाज इन द आउटस्कर्ट्स, तो यहाँ पे डीजल रिक्वायरमेंट भी बहुत था। सो ऑफ कोर्स अगर हम डीजल का कैलकुलेशन ऑन बेस्ड ऑन यूनिट करेंगे, तो एक यूनिट मतलब 1 लीटर डीजल में 3 यूनिट्स बनता है। सो एक यूनिट के लिए ऑलमोस्ट ऑलमोस्ट 33 से 34 रुपीज का खर्चा है अभी। सो दिस कैन कंप्लीटली बी सेव्ड बाय बेस। अगर आप ग्रिड से भी चार्ज करते हो ड्यूरिंग डी जोन, सी जोन, तो आपका मैक्स टू मैक्स टैरिफ, अगर मैं 10 रुपये भी पकड़ रहा हूँ, तो 23 रुपये का यू गेट एन एडवांटेज बाय गोइंग टू बेस। प्लस हम, और दिस इज नॉट टू बी क्लेम दैट generator will still be required where there is requirement of generating electricity, but on the basis of past data we can size BESS, and the the diesel generator would be used at a minimal level, so savings are there. So if I consider this one, where we got almost 2-3 lakhs of monthly savings on diesel, और फिर ड्यू टू द डी जोन what we say, the rate of unit, and only by saving 40% in D zone we are getting a total saving of 9.3 lakhs. So here you can see the payback is very very attractive. 3 years or under 3 years we are getting. This is with solar plus BESS. So when the case is diesel generator, the case is very strong. Yes, Santosh sir.
या सो व्हाट आई वांट टू, एक पॉइंट में बताना चाहता हूँ, कमर्शियल कैटेगरी में HT2 कमर्शियल में बेस का केस बहुत स्ट्रांग है। अगर अगर जोन डी में कंजम्पशन है, जैसे होटल्स, जैसे हॉस्पिटैलिटी मतलब होटल्स इंडस्ट्री और मॉल्स, इस तरह के जो भी यूजर्स हैं, वहाँ पे केस बहुत स्ट्रांग है, क्योंकि इवनिंग जोन डी का टैरिफ 18 रुपीज के ऊपर है। अगर हम सोलर से भी चार्ज करें और बैटरी यूज करें तो पे बैक अच्छा है। अगर सोलर नहीं है सोलर से ही मतलब केस स्ट्रांग बनता है। विदाउट सोलर आप जोन सी से चार्ज करोगे, ग्रिड से चार्ज करोगे, तो फिर वो केस थोड़ा मतलब उतना अच्छा नहीं है। लेकिन सोलर से आप चार्ज करोगे तो केस बहुत अच्छा है। और दैट्स नंबर वन। नंबर टू, अगर वहां पे थोड़ा डीजल यूज हो रहा है, डीजी जेनसेट यूज हो रहा है, तो और भी उसका इम्प्रूवमेंट आता है। तो बेसिकली HT2 कैटेगरी में केस स्ट्रांग है, और HT1 में भी स्ट्रांग है। अगर अगर डीजल यूसेज हो रहा है तो बहुत स्ट्रांग है। अगर डीजल यूसेज नहीं हो रहा है, तो अगर उनके पास सरप्लस सोलर है, अगर सरप्लस सोलर है जो जो उनको क्रेडिट नहीं मिल रहा है, जैसे यहाँ पे दिख रहा है आपको 14,000 यूनिट्स, क्योंकि वो महाराष्ट्र का पॉलिसी चेंज होने से उनको क्रेडिट नहीं मिल रहा है उसके लिए, तो वो मतलब पूरा वेस्ट ही जा रहा है मानो। तो उसका उसके हिसाब से अगर हम बेस्ट डालें तो उसका भी केस अच्छा बनता है। सो दीज आर द केसेस वेयर द बेस्ट बिजनेस केस पे बैक इज वेरी गुड। Ameya, you can go ahead.
Yes. So talking about payback, this is a rough estimate that we calculated. Then there is surplus of solar. For HT1, the payback is about 4 to 4.5 years, and the payback for HT2, where the tariff is higher, the higher end, it's lower. New solar plus the for HT1, it's about 6 to 6.5 years. Similarly, in all the cases for HT2, it has seen that it was lower for commercial end. So new solar plus D slot saving plus peak shaving, the payback is 4.5 to 5 years. For HT2, it is 4 years to 4.5 years. Now, when we see with diesel offset, when also we are adding new solar and doing D slot peak shaving, the payback is the most attractive one. The 3.5 to 4 years, and HT2 it is 3.5, 3 to 3.5 years. So to say how Aerem can help you in sizing BESS. Plus, we have uh, about 10 OEMs that we are in connection with, that are eager to provide solution in India, where we can connect them with you or via us. Also, Aerem is a level uh, where the OEMs cannot just give you a capacity that they have calculated. We also do the due diligence on the capacity that they have provided and all the services that they are going to provide. So we provide a complete solution for BESS as well to the customer or to the EPC which is looking for it. And of course, we have OEMs plus EPC network in Maharashtra and all over India, where people are going with BESS. They are finding new opportunities and requiring BESS. So yes, Aerem is completely ready right now to cater to your BESS requirements, be it sales or OEMs. So yes.
सो अगर आपके पास कोई कस्टमर है और उनका इलेक्ट्रिसिटी बिल्स है, आप शेयर कर सकते हैं हमारे साथ। हम इलेक्ट्रिसिटी बिल्स को एनालाइज करके वी कैन टेल यू व्हाट इज द राइट बेस्ट साइज, व्हाट इज द पे बैक पीरियड फॉर द कस्टमर, वो हम आपको बता सकते हैं। And then because we are having in touch with all the best OEMs, okay, and we are also, as Ameya mentioned, doing taking only the technically qualified OEMs. So you will get some assurance कि ये OEMs जो Aerem recommend कर रहा है वो लोग मतलब technically sound OEMs है, because best में भी quality is very important, because it's also not only is it about performance, it's also about safety. So for both these cases, quality of the OEM is very important. And so therefore Aerem, because Aerem does a due diligence of these OEMs, we are able to give you some assurance, some comfort on the OEM side. Of course, Aerem Finance is there. आपको फाइनेंसिंग के लिए आपको कस्टमर को अगर फाइनेंसिंग की जरूरत है तो फाइनेंस इज ऑल्सो देयर. So these are the proposition that Aerem can bring. Yeah.
Yes.
Ameya, anything else is there?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, done. We are open to take your questions. Yes.
Okay, thank you so much, Amey. Thank you so much, Santosh sir, for taking out time specifically for this webinar. So now we are open for questions. So आप लोग के जो भी doubts है related to BESS, Amey is there, Mr. Santosh sir is there, happy to answer. So individually you can raise your hand and I can unmute one by one on that basis. So we can answer that queries and we'll be more than happy to answer all your queries and all your doubts. So I have Mohit right now. So Mohit, yes. So Mohit is mentioning how to find best capacity. So Amey, Santosh sir, if any one of you would like to answer this.
I'll
Amey,
take
you
this.
can stop your screen share.
Yes.
And I request everyone if we can switch on their camera if they are comfortable. So let us make this session more interactive for every one of us.
So hi Mohit, answering your question how to calculate best sizing. So first of all, you have to check the electricity bill, and if there is no existing solar and you are planning to add solar on the basis of the consumption for the solar hour zone plus the peak demand zone, that is, if I consider in Maharashtra the C and D zone. So you have to size solar accordingly, and then when calculating the D zone average or the peak zone average, yearly average, we have to divide it by 30 so that daily consumption is, we get the daily consumption. And then when you have a best output, best brochure, where the depth of discharge and the round trip efficiency is mentioned, you just have to divide it by that. So you will get a tentative requirement of the best size that is required for the site. Mohit, have I answered your question?
Can you explain with some examples and that too on screen? It will be better.
Okay, so if you take your daily requirement for the D zone or the peak zone to be 100 units, that is 100 kilowatt hour. Okay, so basis size according to the daily units that are required. So for example, if you are taking 100 units daily consumption in the peak zone and your depth of discharge of the battery is 90%, and the round trip efficiency, the RTE, round trip efficiency is the efficiency at which the battery charges and discharges. So consider the standard RTE, that is 90%. I'll take it, is about 85 to 90%. So 100 units daily consumption divided by 0.9 of the depth of discharge, and then again dividing by 0.9